Now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Most of the showers left in central Virginia, hanging around Spotsylvania, Orange, Louisa, and Fluvanna counties. Even a couple of showers around Ferncliff and the northwestern corner of Goochland County. Everything's gone by midnight. Skies will clear following, and temperatures not as warm as today for your Saturday, but still unseasonably mild. Today we officially hit 78 at the airport in Charlottesville, 19 degrees above normal. Now we're going to bring those temperatures back a little bit tomorrow, but still with a high of 72 in Charlottesville, we're still talking quite a bit above normal. I know it's late, quick math. 70 in Crozet tomorrow, Arvonia 73. 73 in Orange, 71 for Culpeper, Sunshine for Bumpus and Zion Crossroads, Bremo, Bluff, Oh My, Kent Store. Your high tomorrow is 73. You're going to the Valley tomorrow, upper 60s. A little breezy in the Valley with 66 in West Augusta, Elkton 69, Reddish Knob at 59, and Monterey at 64. Traveling elsewhere in the Old Dominion, you're mainly looking at upper 60s in D.C. and Richmond, but 72 in Roanoke and Norfolk tomorrow at 64 with a sun cloud mix. Low pressure bringing the showers, moving out of here tonight. High pressure following, quiet weekend, and then eventually, I don't know if you can really see it, but this colder air in Canada behind this tidal bar, it's going to move in for Monday and Tuesday, bringing highs down to the mid-50s. But as far as precipitation chances go, lacking. So pollen counts are going to start climbing even higher. Maybe some relief showers next Friday. The most places not even seeing 1/10 of an inch of rain. Temperature-wise, next 7 days, lower 70s for the weekend. Cooler for Monday and Tuesday. Remember the first full day of spring. It's late. It's been a week, folks. 62 on Wednesday, 64 on Thursday and Friday, going to the first weekend of spring, not winter.
Close enough. Yeah, exactly. Well, at least winter is having its last hurrah before spring officially starts. Well, it's a cannabis compound that sometimes is referred to as THC light, but a new study is sounding an alarm on the rise in number of teens using the products, which contain Delta-8 THC.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has a look at the data and explains why researchers call this a potential public health concern.
It's a new psychoactive substance, sometimes marketed as a legal alternative to weed. And researchers say more teens are using the cannabis compound known as Delta-8 THC.
It could impact proper development of the brain and a whole host of other types of consequences.
Adam Leventhal is author of a study published in JAMA that relied on school survey data from 12th graders.
We were really surprised to see 11%, so more than 1 in 10 teens in America were using these products at least once in the past year. And a good portion of them were not just experimenting.
The drug comes in many forms that may appeal to teens, like gummies and vaping cartridges. Leventhal says, unlike weed, there are no age restrictions for buying Delta-8 in most states where the product is legal, and he says it's not regulated either.
So we don't know if these products have impurities and potential toxic byproducts, and we don't know even what's in them.
Scientists don't fully understand what effects Delta-8 may have on teens. There are no large medical studies to show exactly how it affects the body, especially one still developing.
We know that the market for addictive substances moves much more quickly than sometimes we do in public health and research. And we've already seen a teen epidemic of e-cigarette use. We don't want to see the same thing play out with these hemp-derived cannabis products.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, as Travis already mentioned, winter is coming to an end, and while the temperatures rise, allergies are not far behind. Experts say that there is a rough allergy season up ahead. Health officials say that March can be the worst time for pollen. They say 11 different species from oak tree blooms, and one after another from January to mid-May. It's the worst time right now. It's the tree's time to reproduce, which puts thousands of seeds on streets and obviously on your cars. I've already had to wash mine twice. Doctors recommend closing your windows, using your air conditioning, and getting the necessary treatments from your doctor. These previous superhero movies have not been looking so super at the box office lately.
But there's some hope for the next film to do the saving this year. We'll tell you what film it is. Don't go anywhere. Well, Fox Means Business now. TSA is expanding its facial recognition technology to nearly 30 airports across the country, but there are security concerns over the new system storing data without consent. The next time you're at the airport, you might notice that you can get through security with just an ID and a photo. It's part of a TSA pilot project to access the use of facial recognition technology. Travelers insert their ID into a card reader and look at a camera on screen. The machine checks to make sure that the images match the ID to make sure that their identification is real.
Better identity security. That informs better security, physical security. So it's good for the passengers, safety of the airplane.
So far, the technology is being tested in around 30 airports across the country and will be coming to 400 over time.
In Hollywood Nation now, the topic of whether audiences have superhero fatigue has come up when comic book movies don't bank big. Recently, Madam Web was part of this conversation after only earning a $15 million domestic box office opening.
Whether it's fatigue and oversaturation of the content or word of mouth, we're taking a look at how superheroes are faring at the box office and a big summer movie which may save the day. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Let's try that again.
Superhero movies aren't always so super powered at the box office, with Madam Web as a recent example. But some comic book fare did fare well with fans this past year.
What we're seeing now is that the comic book movie isn't just a guaranteed hit. Audiences are looking for something fresh, for something new. They're also looking for sort of those tried and true franchises that they believe in. Two of the more popular movies of 2023 from the MCU, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and then especially Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Audiences are also listening. They're listening to critics more. They're listening to Rotten Tomatoes more. They're listening to their friends and families more.
That word of mouth could also be a match for superhero fatigue.
Bob Iger was just asked about superhero fatigue. And I completely agree 100% with what he said. He said, fatigue doesn't exist. You know, people will go see good movies.
Is there hope on the horizon for superhero movies at the box office with Deadpool and Wolverine?
Without a doubt, you know, this was voted our most anticipated film of the entire year at Fandango. What Deadpool and Wolverine is doing is something that the entire superhero industry sort of needs, right? And that audiences want. It's something different.
Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever.
This is going to be Marvel Studios' first R-rated film. It's going to be the first film that teams up Deadpool and Wolverine, especially with that prime late July release time. I do think Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be likely one of the biggest films of the year and one of the biggest success stories for Marvel Studios.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Actress Regina King is opening up for the first time about the death of her son. That was Ian Alexander Jr., who died by suicide back in January of 2022 at the age of 26. He was King's only child. In an interview with Good Morning America on Thursday, King says that she's a different person now than how she was on that tragic day. The Oscar-winning actress says that she's still grieving and that the sadness will always be with her. King also says that she respects and understands her son's choice and that he, quote, didn't want to be here anymore. She also says that the favorite thing about herself is being Ian's mom. King has dedicated her upcoming film to her late son.
Attorneys for Alec Baldwin filing a motion Thursday to dismiss the charges against him for the Rust movie set shooting. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed and director Joel Souza was injured when a gun held by Baldwin fired a live round during a scene rehearsal. In the court filing, Baldwin's attorneys accused prosecutors of, quote, unethical disparagement of the actor. Baldwin is charged with involuntary manslaughter and has pleaded not guilty.
Well, it's time to celebrate one of the world's most beloved animals. Those are pandas, and that's right. Tomorrow is National Panda Day, and you'll notice that we didn't say panda bears because the jury's still out on that one. You might remember learning that pandas have more in common with raccoons than they do bears, but DNA studies are now making a more widely accepted case that pandas are actually true bears, and they deserve that title.
They're just a little bit different. Whatever they are, almost everyone agrees that pandas are just adorable and worth saving. Got to take care of these guys. There are thought to be fewer than 2,000 left in the wild in their native China. Another 100 live in zoos all around the world. Pandas are generally as sweet as they look. They're not predators, and they only eat plants. Their white faces and black eyes help them blend into their snowy mountain and temperate forest habitats.
I love that frozen action shot there.
Yes. Yes.
Was it eucalyptus? Bamboo? Yeah.
Bamboo, yummy.
Something in your mouth, watch me eat. Yum, yum, yum. Extended forecast, feast on some sunshine this weekend. You got lots of it on Saturday. I know, I'm trying to redeem myself for calling winter spring, or spring winter earlier. 70 on St. Patrick's Day. Spring begins at 11:16 p.m. on Tuesday. We're back in the 60s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The pollen counts are going to go sky high because our next rain's not coming until next Friday afternoon.
Can't wait for that pollen.
I agree.
Achoo.
All right, Travis, thank you for that forecast, and thank you all so much for watching your Fox Virginia News at 10. We'll see you back here next week.